सतनाम श्री वाहिगुरु जी। एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निरभव निर्वैर अकाल मूरत अजूनी सैभं गुर प्रसाद जप आद सच जुगाद सच है भी सच नानक होसी भी सच। आद गुरे नमः जुगाद गुरे नमः सत गुरे नमः श्री गुरुदेव नमः। दंडोत बंदन अनेक बार सर्व कला समर्थ डोलन ते राखो प्रभु नानक ते कर हाथ डोलन ते राखो प्रभु नानक दे कर हाथ। वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह। So this is the first introduction session to Sukhmani Sahib, and today we're going to be speaking about the mahatam, the greatness of Sukhmani Sahib, and why we're going to focus on Sukhmani Sahib for the next 24 weeks. So welcome everyone today, and please leave your comments and questions and feedback, and then we can look at those at the end. So we're going to speak, this is a very informal chilled out session where we're going to speak about Sukhmani Sahib, and it's currently on Instagram if you're watching from Instagram now on Remerge, and then it's going to stream from the tag Gursikh Seva Society from Facebook, and it'll be uploaded onto YouTube on Remerge for tomorrow for anyone that's missed the session. And then next week we'll be going live, so if anybody would like to come live to West London, we'll be there as well. So please give your sisa and let's start the session. So Sukhmani Sahib is such an amazing Bani. It's the longest written Bani in Guru Granth Sahib Ji altogether. So Tantan Sri Guru Arjan Dev Ji, our fifth Guru, they recited Sukhmani Sahib. And the story goes that there were many Gursikhs that came to Tantan Sri Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji, to our fifth Guru. And they said that Guruji, they did a benti. So at the time it was great Gursikhs, great beautiful Sikhs, such as Baba Buddha Ji and Bhai Gurdas Ji, and they came to Guru Arjan Dev Ji on behalf of all of the Sangat, and they said, Guruji, there's a benti that we really want to do. And they said that in the Sanatan Mat, so like in the very old Hindu Mat that we see as today, they said that in the Sanatan Mat, they believe that if you read the Gita in the last times before you pass away in this sharir, in this body, before you die, that it's enough to give you mukti, as in liberation. So they said the Sanatan Mat says this, and they said, Guruji, the Sangat are doing a benti that please can you give us such a beautiful Bani, please can you recite something from your mouth that we can feel settled with, that it will give us mukti, that it will allow us to liberate and become one with Waheguru by understanding this Bani. And second, the benti was that every single breath that we have throughout the day, anything that we might do, that it may be covered. So every single breath, so the 24,000 breaths that we have in the day, Guru did so much compassion, they did so much daya, that they covered 24,000 of those breaths with these astvadiya, with these 24. And so they say that if you read Sukhmani Sahib once in the day, or if you do Sukhmani Sahib once in the day, that all your breaths will be covered. So Guruji, they were very compassionate at this time, in the time of Kaljug, in this dark age, that they were blessed us with this bani. Then as the Sangat were doing this benti, as they were doing this plead, somebody else in the Sangat was like, Guruji, please also bless us with a bani, bani meaning words, bless us with your words of the Guru, that we may have something that's easy for us to understand. Because Guru Granth Sahib Ji, they're so deep, they have so much wisdom inside of Guru Granth Sahib Ji, that we have so many words from different languages there. And they said that, Guruji, please bless us with a saral bani, so something that's easy for us to understand. And then Guruji, they were so dayalu, they're so compassionate, that they said, okay, we'll do all of these bentiya today. And they sat around Ramsar Sarovar. So today, as we know, in Amritsar, in Harmandir Sahib, they sat around the Sarovar, around the water, and they started reciting Sukhmani Sahib. And then, where does this name even come from? Sukhmani. So Sukh is peace. Sukh means to feel peaceful, peace. And money, so money is a rock that's found on the head of a very rare snake. So this money is a rock that's found on a very rare snake, the snake that you can find, the Nagmani, 1 in a million that you can find this. And when someone's bitten by a snake, someone's bitten by that poison, somebody who's like a snake charmer or somebody who knows how to use this money can extract that poison from the person and save them with the money rock. So because it's so rare, this money is like a treasure. And this money for us, what does it do? This Sukh money, this treasure of peace, it literally extracts the poison, extracts our poison of Kaljug, of Manmukta, meaning like of the dark age, of anything that we're thinking bad about Panch Chor, like our 5 thieves, Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Hankar. And it extracts the poison out of us to become peaceful, to find that peace. Sukhmani, the treasure of peace. So that's exactly what Guruji does. When we read this Bani, they extract and they take that poison out of us, just like the money rock. So Guruji, they created the Bhagats, they created the beautiful Gursikhs, they created saints and people who meditate upon Vaheguru. They created them to jap Naam, to chant the name of Vaheguru. And in such a time of Kaljug, in such a time of this dark age, they created those Bhagats to show us how to jap Naam, to how to get out of this tireless 8.4 million lives. So we're gonna go into a few stories quickly of the amazement of Sukhmani Sahib and how it's changed people's lives. And then afterwards, we'll go into a bit of the meanings and the greatness of what Guruji tells us happens through reading this Bani, through Japing Naam, through reading Bhat. So it'll just give us that motivation, that connection with Sukhmani Sahib, that why we're reading this. So there was a Mataji, there was a woman who, she had so much vibration, so much radiance around her that somebody asked her, they said, Mataji, I can feel something from you. It feels like I can feel Simran. So Simran is Vaheguru, Vaheguru, the remembrance of Vaheguru, the remembrance of God. And they said, Mataji, I can feel this vibration around you. And the Mata was like, oh really? And they said, it feels like you're reciting Swa Swa Simran. That Simran is happening inside of you. And the Mata, they said, Mataji, tell us how this happened inside of you and how we can get that. And the Mata began her story. She said that when I was a young girl, my father, he used to jop Simran, he used to jop Vaheguru all day, every day. And I saw how much peace, how much liberation was through my father. And she said to her father, she said, Pitaji, father, tell me how I can have Swa Simran happening inside of me. Tell me how I can become connected to that Vaheguru, become connected to the whole universe, to that God, to that light inside of me. And then the father gave her some advice. And he said, Ut, wake up every morning at Amrit Villa. He gave her some advice. He said, wake up at 1 a.m. 1 a.m. till 3 a.m. Go and do 2 Sukhmani Sahibs. Recite Sukhmani twice in the morning and do that every Amrit Villa. Wake up, do Ishnan, as in wash yourself, have a shower, and then sit down and recite Sukhmani Sahib twice. And then she said, that's exactly what I did. I sat there and I recited Sukhmani Sahib, and I did this for 2 years, ongoing, steady. She said I did this, and then after 2 years, every time I would recite until 3 a.m, I would do Ardas. So Ardas is a plead, a benti, afterwards to Vaheguruji, saying that Vaheguruji, please allow Simran, please allow this remembrance upon your beauty. Please allow me to remember you and only remember you. And then she said something amazing happened after 2 years. She said after 2 years, without me even trying, this Vaheguru, Vaheguru, this beautiful peace came, this beautiful Anand, this blissfulness came inside of me, and all I could hear was Vaheguru Simran. All I could do is remember that one. And it's such an amazing time, because right now we're in the time of Kal Yug, the time of what's said Kal Yug, the dark age. We're in Sat Yug, the first age. So we have 4 ages, 4 jugs. We're in the 4th one, which is Kal Yug. The first age of Sat Yug was such a time when people, just like you and me, would live for hundreds and thousands of years. Those people would live for that long, and they wouldn't even build houses or focus on anything else, because they thought, wow, we only have 100,000 years to get back to the Creator. This is our aim in life. And then it came to a time in Kal Yug now, in the dark age, where we only live for the average age span is 80 years in the UK. So max 100 years, 110 years we've heard of people living. And we have this 100 years, but we're so focused on in the dark age that there's people, and there's not many people who haven't lied, cheated or stolen, or there's not many people who are focused on their real goal. Their goal of Govind Milan ki eh hai teri badiya, of this is your time to meet the Creator. That after 8.4 million lives of tirelessly being reincarnated, of tirelessly going through pain and dukh, and then getting this highest life of a human, that Vaheguruji is saying, get to Vaheguru. And that Mata, that woman, was like, only after 2 years did this happen, of really asking and wanting. And people for hundreds of thousands of years would do bhakti, would meditate upon God. But we're so lucky in this time in Kal Yug, in the dark age, that even if we spend a little bit of time, even if you spend 5 minutes a day doing Simran, that it'll change your life. It'll change everything around you, the whole energy of your atmosphere. So there's another story. There's another Sakhi where there was a Mahapurush. So Mahapurush meaning a great being. A great being, why? Because they would connect to Vaheguru. They would spend their time trying to connect back. And this Mahapurush, there was somebody who came to him. A man who came to him, and he said to the Mahapurush, Babaji, I want to open a factory. And he was asking him about his business. And the Mahapurush said, okay, that's fine. If you want to open this factory, make sure you do one thing. Make sure that in this factory, you have lagatar, meaning endless, Sukhmani Sahib happening. So at this time, this was a good like few decades ago now, and at this time the Mahapurush said, make sure when you open this factory, some of the employees are Granthi Singhs, so those who can recite Sukhmani Sahib, and all you will pay them for is to have a role, to have the duty of doing Sukhmani Sahib one after the other, one after the other. So that's exactly what he did. He opened his factory and then he did Ardas, which is the plead to Waheguruji that we're going to start this. And he began and employed 4 to 5 people in his factory doing Sukhmani Sahib. And then with Guruji's Girpa, with this beautiful energy surrounding the whole factory and Sukhmani Sahib happening, another factory opened. And he did the same. He employed 4 to 5 people in that factory only doing Sukhmani Sahib. And then another factory and another one. And his work became so much that he almost had a factory in every single country. So he was not short of money, he was not short of business, he was not short of anything. And in every single factory, there was 4 to 5 people, only their duty was to recite Sukhmani Sahib. The man became old, he had so much under him, and all of these factories, all of this money. And on his deathbed, his children took over. His children took over the factory, and they thought, you know, we've got 4 to 5 people in every single one of these factories, and they're just reciting Bart. They're just literally reading Bart all day. What's the point in having them in this factory? So as his children took over, they didn't have that sharda, that realization that it was the Bart that was helping everything, that was aiding everything. And as they came together, they made a decision. They were like, okay, 4 to 5 people in every single factory, that's a lot of money that's going out, and we're just going to stop these Sukhmani Sahibs. So they stopped in every factory the Sukhmani Sahibs. And then one would close down, and another would close down. And then by the end, because the Sukhmani Sahib stopped, there was no factories left until today. They had whatever remaining money they had from their father's work, and then every single factory closed down. And that just shows the bachan, when Guruji shows us what to do, if we don't follow it, what happens when we follow it, and what happens if we don't follow it. Look at Guru Angad Dev Ji Padshah, our second Guru. As Pai Lana Ji, as Guru Nanak Dev Ji would tell them to follow, okay, go and shake the tree and sweets would come down. They followed it. Just one direction, they followed the bachan, they followed the way of whatever Guruji is saying, and they were given such a high status, they became the Guru themselves. And then if we don't follow it, this is the outcome. We come off the path. We don't have the best outcome that can happen. So another story that I want to just focus on quickly is that there was a Pandit. So here, many people around the world, and I remember being at university, and there was my friend who was Gujarati, and she knew the Mool Mantar, and she would also say that her grandma used to recite Sukhmani Sahib. And I was so surprised by this, that so many people around India, around many different cultures would recite Sukhmani Sahib and be attached to Sukhmani Sahib. So there's a Sakhi, a story about this Pandit who used to recite Sukhmani Sahib. And he had so much wealth, so much belongings under him, that this poor man saw him. And he was like, what is he doing? What is he doing to gain all of this under him? So then he asked the Pandit, and the Pandit said, I recite the Guru's Bani, the Sikh Guru's Bani of Sukhmani Sahib. So the poor man was like, okay. He was able to, and he started reciting Sukhmani Sahib too. As he started reciting this, he started gaining so much. Not just materialistically, but so much spiritually. Until the time came that he was so blissful, so in this peace, so much sukh had come into him, that as it came to his time of passing on this body, he passed away, he died physically. And then a few hours later, he came and he woke up. And his relatives, to their shock, they were like, what happened to you? You died, how can you come back? And he came, he said, I've come back to tell you something. He said that I did pass on. And Vaheguruji was about to bless me with Sachkhand. I was about to go to Sachkhand, to the place of truth, to merge back with the one, with the true entity of Nirgun Vaheguru. And he said, then something happened where Vaheguruji gave me a task. They said, go back to earth and go and tell them the greatness of Sukhmani Sahib. Go and do prajar, go and tell people what you received from these amazing words. And Guruji tells us themselves what we receive. Many Mahapurukhs, many great Gursikhs, such as Sant Gyani Gurbachan Singh Ji, they would never miss Sukhmani Sahib. They used to have Panj Granthi as their Nitnem every day. Sant Baba Attar Singh Ji, Mastwane Wale, they used to do Panj Granthi. They would never miss Sukhmani Sahib. Baba Nan Singh Ji, from Nanak said, they would say themselves, they said that if you want to keep away from Maya, if you want to keep away from the grasp of the illusion, and they said that if you want to escape Kaljug, escape this dark age, then Sukhmani Sahib will help you. There's a Sakya story of Baba Nan Singh Ji actually, and a cat came to them. A cat came, and Baba Nan Singh Ji knew that there was a different form behind this cat. A cat came and Baba Nan Singh Ji said, reveal yourself, who are you? The cat came and revealed itself as Kaljug, as the dark age, as this summer. So this might be beyond our understanding, but we can learn a lot from this story, a lot from the Saki. The cat, the Kaljug, said that I've been trying to get to you. I've been trying to tear you down. I've been trying to take away whatever good that is and try and get to you, but there's such a big barrier here. There's such a massive barrier. And he said it's this part that you do, this bani that you jap constantly of Sukhmani Sahib. That's the reason that I can't trick you, I can't get to you. So Baba Nan Singh Ji gave bhajan, meaning that they told the Sikhs that, look, this is the greatness of Sukhmani Sahib, that if you want to get out the grasp of Kaljug, then this is how that Sukhmani Sahib will help you. So Sukhmani Sahib is such an amazing bani, and if you have any questions, please leave them here for the end and then we'll try and go through them. But we only have 5 more minutes, so we're going to go through what Guruji themselves says in Sukhmani Sahib about what we'll receive. So how great is our Guru? How great is it that we have a Guru, a master, that tells us directly from themselves what we're going to receive from doing this. So Maharaji says, they say, Khem Sant Riv Navanid. They say Khem Sant, that comfort, peace, tranquility, wealth, and the 9 treasures. Honestly, if you guys want to write this down right now and see exactly and add up exactly what Maharaji tells us, what we're going to receive from Japing Naam, from doing Sukhmani Sahib, write it down, because I'm pretty sure that all of us here will have one of these that we want. Comfort, peace, tranquility, wealth, the 9 treasures, Nav Nid, the 9 treasures. Bodh Gyan Sarab Tehe Siddh, Bodh Gyan, the saying that will receive wisdom, knowledge, all spiritual powers. Vidya Tap Yoga Prabhatyan, that if you want Vidya, if you want education, learning, penance, yoga, and meditation, that remembrance on Vaheguruji. Gyan Srestha Uttam Isnan, the most sublime Gyan, the most sublime wisdom, and all of Ishnan. You know how people go to baths to try and cleanse themselves? They'll think, oh, let's go to a tirath, to a pilgrimage to try and cleanse myself inside. They said this Isnan, this Ishnan of Naam will help you. And it will be found here as well. Char Padarth Kamal Pragas, the 4 cardinal blessings, and the opening of the heart lotus. So if anybody is into their chakras, if you want to feel that pyar, if you want to feel love from your heart, then Sukhmani Sahib will guide us here too. Sabka mad sagalate udas. In the midst of all, in all of this, yes, you'll feel love, but at the same time, you'll feel that detachment. You'll feel that udas, that detachment, that you won't be affected by anyone or anything. Sundara chatura tataka beta. If you want to be sundar, you'll have that true beauty. You'll have intelligence. You'll have the realization of reality. Waking up from this, you'll realize what is true. Samadarsi ekadristeta. That these blessings come to who? To that being that chants the Naam with their mouth, that chants the remembrance of Vaheguru. Ehe phala tis janaka mukha pane. These blessings come to who? Through Guru Nanak Dev Ji. Guru Nanak Naam bachan man sune. And that person who hears the word with his ears through Tan Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji's blessings. Ehone dan japa man koe. That who chants this treasure, this money in their mind, sab jug mahata ki gata hoy. That in every age, you know, we spoke about the ages earlier, the Sat Jug, and then now Kal Jug, Treta and Dwapar. So in these 4 ages, in these 4 jugs, that in any jug, in every age, they'll attain salvation. Guna Gobind Nama Tone Bani. With the glory of Gobind, with the glory of that creator, of that God, the Naam, the chanting of Gurbani, this Guru's word. Simrat Sastra Ved Bakhani. And Vaheguruji refers back that the Simratis, the Shastras, so all the philosophical, the Veds, they all speak of what? They all speak of Sagal Matant Keval Har Naam, the essence of all religion. The essence of all religion, what is it? Of Naam, of this name, of this chanting, of the remembrance of the one. Govinda Bhagat Kaman Bisram. And where does this abide? In the mind of those Bhagats, in the mind of those who never forget Vaheguru. Kot Aparad Sad Sangamita. That through this, millions, not hundreds, not thousands, millions of bab, of sins, of those mistakes that we make every day are erased, are taken away instantly by the company of those holy people, of those holy ones who show us how to jump, how to remember, how to get out of this tireless 8.4 million lifetimes. Sant Kripate Jamate Chutya. By the grace of that sadhu, by the grace of that saint, the saint who japs Vaheguru, that japs the Naam. Somebody by their sangat, by their environment, by their vibration, escapes the messenger of death. That one that we meet by the end. Jaka mastaka karam prabha pai. Those who have such a preordained destiny on their foreheads. Sad sarana nanak te aaye. O Nanak, enter the sanctuary of those sants, of those saints. Jesamana vase suna lai prita. One who within his mind abides and listens to this Naam with love. Tesa jan ava hara prabhachita. That humble, that person in Nimrata, that person who becomes so humble consciously remembers Vaheguru, consciously remembers that one, that we realizes and remembers that we are all one, that there is only one, gets out of this duality, out of this illusion. Janam maranata ka dukh nivara. That again, this janam maran, this birth and death cycle, is all removed. How? Dolabha dehe tatakal udara. That this human body that we've got out of so many lifetimes, that was so hard to obtain. Nirmala soba amritata ki bani. That person who jumps this naam, that person who connects with Vaheguru in this age, in this dark age, their reputation becomes so spotlessly pure, and their speech, what does it become? It becomes so sweet. Ek naam man mahe samani. The one name then permeates within their mind. All they can do is remember that one. Dukh rog bin se pa parama. Again, let's count what Vaheguruji is saying is what we're gonna gain from this, and in this way, what's going to be removed from us. So dukh, so sorrow, sickness, fear, and all this dulab, this doubt that leaves us in confusion all the time. All these things that Vaheguruji is saying will gain from this. Sadhanam nirmalta ke karama. That sadhanam, that he is called a holy person, that he is called a sad, whose actions from jumping nam, from remembering that universal creator, become so spotlessly pure. Sabte uchata ki sopa bani. And that person who jumps this nam, his glory becomes so high. How high? Nanak ehe guna naam Sukhmani. His reputation, his glory becomes the highest of all. And Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj, they say with all these glorious virtues, with all these gun, that this Bani is named Sukhmani, is named that peace of mind. So many of us today might be running around, we might be dealing with a lot of things, you know. We might have a lot of confusion, a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress, whatever the situation is. But Guru Sahib is saying that this Bani is named peace of mind. What more? Where else do we need to go? What more do we need? This is Sukhmani, that jewel of the peace of the mind. So if you guys will recite at home with me the last panktiya, the last lines of this beautiful Bani, and then I'll look through if there's any questions. If not, then you're welcome to ask any questions next week, and we'll read through the questions and try and get back to you. And please forgive me for any mistakes that I've made today. From the bottom of my heart, I don't mean to offend anyone or break anyone's heart. So if you would join me, Dukh rog bin se pa parama. Sadhanam nirmalata ke karama. Sabte uch taki sopa bani. Nanak ehe gun naam Sukhmani. Sabte uch taki sopa bani. Nanak ehe gun naam Sukhmani. Vaheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji ki Fateh. I'm just going to quickly look through questions now, and anyone is welcome to comment or say anything. And if anybody has any questions, again, they can ask for next week. But it looks like most people don't have questions this week. So we'll say Fateh here, and thank you so much for joining us in this introduction of the greatness of the mahatam of Sukhmani Sahib. was so excited to start delving into each Aspadi, into each section, the 24 sections of Guru Arjan Dev Ji's Bani, that beautiful Guru who sat on that Tati Tavi. And as so much was happening around them, as they were giving to the world, as they were giving this Shahidi, this martyrdom, and having hot sand poured over them in the midst of the heat of the hottest weather in India, and you could see them going through all this, the blistering of their physical body, and seeing everything through their human sarir, and still sitting in that jonkra, still sitting with their legs crossed, saying Tera kiya meetha lage. May Tan Sri Guru Arjan Dev Ji, may we do ardas to Tan Sri Guru Arjan Dev Ji, our beautiful fifth Guru, that allow us to just get a little glimpse of how they had so much peace of mind, of how they had so much bliss, of how much sukh and anand they had inside of them, and for us to become one with them, become their Gursikhs, keep trying to come on this path, however many times we fall. So Marj Kirpa Karan, let's join again next week, and if anybody's missed this will be up on YouTube. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.